Good morning, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. Happy Thursday. Let's take a look and see what Bitcoin is doing. So, I'm going to review why we dropped the way we did. I know that I mentioned this in Sin City Crypto, which I'm very active in Discord, but we're going to go over what happened here. And it's not related to news, it's not related to any sort of world event. Um, so, taking a look at Bitcoin on the daily, um, now we can for sure say that this is a bearish week. Why? Because today was the last day for us to get up and test weekly open and possibly close above there. I was watching the 62K level. I know I mentioned that yesterday. Unfortunately, overnight we hit it, and then we've just fallen from there. So, let's take a look and see what is happening here and where we could be going. So, and I'm going to do this without looking at liquidity for right now. Looking at our 12 hour. So our 12 hour, we're just melting, right? 8 hour melting, 4 hour, same type of thing. It's obviously it has a place it wants to get to, okay? Um, I am expecting a bounce either at 57,852 or around 57.3. And pulling this from, let's see. So 57,852 would be from within our range that we were in back in 2024. That's pulling from the bottom to the top. And then let's go to a bigger time frame and see kind of other fib levels we got going on here. So let's see here. We wrecked this one, I know. All right. And we're going to pull from, do this next one maybe? Yeah. So 57,281. Um, this would be, kind of our worst case scenario possibly today. If not, if this gets lost, then we have to assume that we go for this one, which is 52,114. The only other support we would have is 54,727. So let's map that out. We have 57,281 right here, 54,727, and then we have 52,114. So these are all levels that we can keep in mind for right now to the downside if it really wants to melt. Um, we could even come from here. Let's see, this would be down to here. And I'm going to keep this Kraken chart as a separate chart because I have too many lines on the other one. So 46,547 would be the next, which is around that 47,000 range that we've been talking about. Um, but it's getting pretty violent this month. So one good thing is because we're having such an expansive June to the downside, there's a chance that July will be bullish. I'm hopeful for it. July is known to be a bullish month for Bitcoin, so just kind of grit and bear it through the rest of the days of this month. There's not too many left. There's a good 5 days left. So, um, anyways, I don't see us bouncing the 58,000 range for right now. There's no real support that I'm seeing. Um, you know, I think where was this? 58,277. I mean, it's just kind of going through this range, which was what I was expecting if we lost that 59 thousand level, 59.7. So, let's take a look and see what's happening on like the hourly. So the hourly, trying to put in that tweezer bottom. Unfortunately, we are pumping first for the hour, so it's gonna keep probably falling through. Um, the 15-minute is doing kind of the same thing. This could possibly close without a wick to the downside, but I don't see any relief here. This is just going to keep going. I again am targeting 57,319. This would be a high risk entry if you guys wanted to try it. Not financial advice, but this is a possibility where we could bounce before we get really low into closer to 54,000. So that being said, let's take a look at why we dumped the way we did. And I'm probably going to have to use this chart maybe right here. All right, so what did we do last night? Well, last night we pumped, right? We did this sideways chop consolidation for most of Asia session, and then we pumped, which is what I didn't want. What I wanted to happen was I wanted us to dump first, taking out some of this liquidity, which would allow us to pump for the Fed folder. Because we did the exact opposite of that, which we got up to almost 62,000 here, um, you have to. I was basically under the assumption that the Fed folder would be bearish because we pumped for the night. I did not want to see that happen. So because we pumped for the night, now we, basically made a curved top here. When the Fed folder came out, so you can see we were making a descending triangle, right? Fed folder came out, wham, to the upside, and look at where it goes. It goes to take out all of these stop losses here. You have a double top right here. It didn't quite make this one, but you literally wrecked this double top. Fell immediately down, found sensitivity, fell immediately down. We played around within a $300 range for a good almost 40 minutes, and then it just collapsed. Okay, that is your. I don't even know if this is a 786. I think it went further than that. No, almost an exact 786 right there. That's why the 786 level is so powerful. Okay, you hit that, you take out these double tops, pretty cleanly, right? It went right above this wick right here, and then it just collapsed. Okay. So nothing to do with news, nothing to do with world events. It's literally just part of timing and the charts and whether or not we have a bullish or bearish bias. You'll see the same thing, building out like a cup and handle in a bullish environment, right? Like this is like a wick to the downside, taking out these, these longs, right? Where they have their stop losses, and then it just goes in their direction. So, anyways, that's what we're seeing for Bitcoin for right now. Um, so let's go ahead and dive into liquidity now. And let me go up here. All right, taking a look at liquidity. Let's see, we'll reconnect this. You can see that we have, let me go ahead and check off just this 100x here, and we'll go to the 4-hour. All right, so when it comes to liquidity, you can see how we have basically just kind of taken all of this 25x out, okay? Um, we started diving into this pool here, and you can see we ended around 56,834, but I mean, this could be a complete melt today if it wants to be, right? Like it did yesterday. I mean, this is going to get really, really violent. I'm assuming here. I don't believe the bottom's going to be in until, later on today, if not tomorrow, depending on how bad we go or how low we go, right? You could see we could literally just melt right through all of this. I have this 56K marked out. I believe it was based off of liquidity. And then we have this 53.8 marked out as well, which is right below the 54.707, but we could potentially melt to 54.707. One good thing that I will tell you guys is because we're now deeply in this consolidation profile that we were in 2024, um, anything now that makes a flag, like even if it looks like a bear flag, there is a good chance that it will reverse to the upside because we are in a discount. So if I were to pull my fib from here, you can see that we are well below that 0.5 is right about here. I don't have it on this chart. Let me see if I can add it. But we are well below the 0.5, right, which is right here. So 62,266. So we are technically in a discount of our fixed volume profile, which is a good sign. So if you see a flag form today that looks bearish, just know that there is a better chance that it's going to break up than it will break down, even though we are in a very bearish environment. So that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the 1 hour, see what's going to happen more short term. All right, so taking a look at our 1 hour here, let's go ahead and check off some of these. I mean, we've taken out all the 25x, all the 50x, all the 100x to the downside. So now we're getting into the 10x, which tells us we could go down to that 54,964, which is about where the value area low is within our profile. Okay. So that's what that is telling me for right now is that we could come all the way down here. There's a chance that we bounce from 57.8, but odds are likely that we at least take out most of this yellow liquidity here to the downside, because there's just it's not stopping, right? I mean, we have a little bit of a bounce here, and this could be a great short entry, to be honest with you. We have trend diff going at a -2, so I might even take that. Not financial advice. Moving into the 15-minute now, kind of alludes to the same thing, I believe. I mean, you take out all the 25x, you got all of this. So, anyways, guys, that is what I'm seeing so far for Bitcoin. Expect a complete meltdown for right now. Any bounce that we get is going to be short-lived until we get into the 57s. I'm not really trusting it. Um, so just know that, hopefully we'll find a bottom today. If not, it will be tomorrow. There will be a bottom for the week. I know this is like a complete meltdown, but there will eventually be a bottom for the week. It's just not looking great so far. So, anyways, guys, that is what I have for you today. Let's take a look at Kiyotaka real quick. You can see we're getting some sort of bounce here, some sensitivity because of these orders that came in, but a lot more orders close by to the downside, even down to 55,000 rather than to the upside. So we do have a one at 59.5 that might be taken, but expect for this to just keep falling until we get a good solid bounce. I mean, look at even down to 47,000 we have orders. So yeah, not looking great, guys. I definitely think that we're going to see, we might see a little bit of recovery here, but it's going to be a probably continuation dump pattern. I don't see where we would be bouncing off of right here. We did dive in a little bit to this row liquidity, but again, trend different showing that are at a -2, which is a very, more of a bearish bias, at least for the short term. So um, anything that you see like a pump up could be a great short opportunity for right now, like it is right now. So not financial advice, but do what you want with that information. Anyways, guys, I will be back later on this evening. I hope you guys have a wonderful trading day. And if you're short, congratulations. This was an amazing trade. Take care, and I will talk to you all later.